Welcome back, my friends. My name is Eric. This is Mo7 Gaming, and we're back, kind of. I'm going to end this MercTech save right here. We've got, I don't know, 16, maybe this is episode 17. I'm a good week ahead of my recordings from where I am right now. But I've become so frustrated with the ammo system. I understand it's meant to make weapon and ammo choices more meaningful, but the reality is it makes them less meaningful because you can't make the decision. There's no possibility. If you can't find the ammo, then you can't use the weapon. There's no decision to be made. You could say there could be decisions based on rarity. So some weapons are more common, others, and have some additional bonus. Maybe, the 151 millimeter ammo is better than the 150. Substantially so, but ammo's harder to find for it. There's just not as many that are made, right? And so you could say, I'm gonna go with the 150. We'll be able to keep ammo in it. Now that's important if you're running the system where you actually, ammo is used in the game and you have to continually recharge that. That would be fine. But the reality is you can't find any ammo or find very little for anything beyond. Well, I mean, it's difficult to find anything. You know, we found it for the AC5s, the AC10s, AC2s even. AC20s, can't find any. I've yet to be able to buy a single ton of ammo for an AC20 since we've been playing. Everything we've got, we've salvaged. Gauss ammo, we've got 3 off of a salvage. Now, we haven't needed to buy any because I haven't found a Gauss, but I haven't seen any for sale either. And Gauss ammo isn't ammo. It's a chunk of metal. You could make it all day long in a machine shop in sub-Saharan Africa today, forever. There's no reason it shouldn't be found. The Gauss rifle should be rare. The Gauss ammo, never. It doesn't even need to be magnetized. It's just a chunk of metal. So that's kind of silly. Now, let me show you the final straw here for you. So we've got a mission tied up here, and you can see here we've got a Marauder, and that Marauder happens to have an LB10X 120 millimeter. This Cyclops also happens to have a 120 millimeter LB10X. And you can see the problem is we don't have any ammo for 120 millimeter LB10X, and we don't have a weapon for 120 millimeter LB10X ammo. So even the stuff that's called the same doesn't work with the weapon. Now, we got these weapons as well as some Ultra AC 5s as a reward. And they both came with generic LB10X and Ultra AC 5 ammo, neither of which will work in these weapons. And if we go to take a look, we weren't given any of the Ultra AC 5, whatever the particular millimeter is. Let's take a look at this one right here. So you can see right here, we've got an LB10X 120 millimeter. You can see right here, 120 millimeter LBX cluster ammunition does not work. Neither does the, of course it's not valid. There isn't any valid ammunition as far as I can tell for this at all, period. Does it even show up here? Does it say AC? I don't remember what it was called. We got 80 millimeter LBX ammo as well, which, as far as I know, doesn't work in anything. It could. Maybe there's an LB5X out there somewhere, or maybe an LB10X 80 millimeter. I don't know. We haven't seen them. Do I even see it? I could have sworn we saw it when we got it. Oh, mailman's here. The dog's barking. Shorty needs me to know. AC, see, we've got some generic AC10, AC20, AC5. That doesn't work in anything. Nothing. Heavy rifle ammo does work in heavy rifles. Light ammo rifle does work in light rifles. You don't need to have a specific millimeter for that. And machine gun ammo, as far as I know, works as well. SRM and LRM ammo works just fine. Streaks works just fine as well. I couldn't tell you about these. I have a thumper. I don't have a thumper cannon. Or maybe I have a thumper cannon, I don't have a thumper piece. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I wasn't able to find ammo. I have ammo here, but when I tried to use it, it wasn't happy with it. So, yeah. So I don't even see the generic LB10X. I don't know if it disappeared. I don't know if I sold it on accident. I don't know if it was a figment of my imagination when we got it. We do have Ultra AC5 ammo. It will not work with the Ultra AC5. We can do that real fast too. Let's as long as we're here, We'll put some Ultra AC5 ammo down there, and we'll go to here, and we will find, there's our thumper cannon. We'll take a look at it here in a second. So these are UAC 115s, is what it says. There's our ammo. We'll go ahead and start work. And right here, a Kiwi Ultra has no ammunition, and our Ultra AC has no weapon. So that doesn't work. As long as we're here, though, let's go ahead and try our thumper cannon and see if that works, just for your guys's. So that is a thumper cannon. So I think we just need thumper cannon ammo. Let's go ahead and see if a thumper cannon and a thumper piece are two different things. So if we were to hit start work here, the thumper piece isn't. So the thumper cannon ammo works. So we have some cool guns now. We have cool LB10Xs. We had to get them as a reward because we never salvaged them. We never saw them for sale, but we found some. We have ammo that came with them that does not work with them at all. And it's just frustrating. All of the ammo has done is take away your choice to use anything beyond your most basic AC2s, 5s, and 10s. And it complicates that as well by mixing that. It just means you have to carry more random crap around. It doesn't lead to meaningful gameplay decisions that make meaningful tactical or strategic or even really economic choices within the game. It's something that can be done, and so it was something that was done, but it's something that should not have been done, at least not in its current form. Right now, it adds nothing to the game. It only takes away. Yes, I understand it's a decision to be made, but there's a difference between a meaningful decision and a useful decision within game design. And this one is, I don't know that it's even meaningful. It's certainly not useful. Meaningful would mean that we had the choice. We could make that. We could pay extra for the ammo. We could travel a little bit. In theory, there's ammo dumps out there where we could buy this. We are 16, 17 years into this save. I've yet to see one anywhere. So no, they don't exist. They don't exist enough that they're useful for you in making a decision. I don't know how they show up. I don't know if they're random. We haven't seen them. So they don't add to that decision-making process. So now I do want to be fair. And we could have done things to mitigate some of this when we started the save. I'm going to just say, okay, I'm going to back out. We're going to go to the title here, and we'll talk about that. Because maybe you love MercTech so much. I've recently updated. Again, I'm about a week ahead, so you guys should have seen this week. I don't like cockpit glass. I think it's a silly mod that just, I don't know. I'm wearing VR goggles. I don't really care what happens to the cockpit glass. It matters not ultimately, not within lore, not with anything else. There's no reason for this mod. It's something that somebody said, oh, that's be cool. I could do that. Yeah, glass would crack. Yeah, let's do that. And they put it in, and it adds, again, nothing to the game, in my opinion. It doesn't add to the realism because you're wearing VR goggles. So, it is what it is. If we want this in the mod, just add it to the mod. Don't give me a pop-up for use. If I don't use a mod I don't want to use, right? If it's needed, it should be in the mod. That's my opinion on that. But I can hit this. That's fine. Integrated combat turns, which is the quick repair, supposedly works now. I haven't tried it. It does give you a pop-up every time you don't use it. I don't like that. It should potentially give me a pop-up when I do use it that says, hey, this is going to cost you more than the standard. That's fine. I shouldn't have a pop-up every time I repair something that says that it's going to take more time but cost me less, right? It's not costing me less. It's costing me the standard amount to repair it the standard bit. It doesn't need a pop-up for that. Only give me a pop-up if I use it. I think that would be fine. This might help with some of our problems. Market tab in the Mech Lab will now show correct ammo for weapons you have loaded. I don't know. I don't know what was wrong with the Hellion or the Javelin. They're fixed. I don't know what was wrong with micro lasers. We've yet to see them. Salvage screen will show you the value and how much ammo you have for salvaged items. That's useful-ish. I don't know. Again, I just think the ammo system's so broke that little band-aids like that aren't going to fix it. It should just be gotten rid of. Camera shake, fixed masks and equipment. We never found any. I don't think we're late enough in the game, so it doesn't matter. And again, I'm not a big fan of the crafting system either, so this for me is a band-aid as well. All right, let's look, though. If we were to start a new career, let's look at what our options are for ammo. The first is the ammo management, which we're not playing on. That means you actually use the ammo that's there. That ammo has to be recovered and replaced. I believe Baradul is playing with it, so you can check to see one of his saves to see how it works. I don't hate this. I actually kind of like the ammo management system. If you did this, but without all of the 8 billion extra random types that you can't find, I think this would be fine. I do like the ammo management system as I've seen it within the game. I just don't like the rest of the ammo that goes on top of it, if that makes sense. So I like this. I like having to rearm and, reload. I think that's fine. You could look at that a few ways. You could say, hey, we control the battlefield. We're just going to recover our brass and reload. That's entirely possible to say as a reason why we don't have to do that. I don't know. You could look at it both ways, but I like this. I like the idea of it. So that's good. Damage model. Now, you can change how much damage the munitions do. Now, that is effectively going to mean you need less ammo. You don't have to shoot things as many times with an autocannon to do similar amount of damage. Therefore, you save ammo, right? So you can see extreme munitions is what's recommended for the ammo management. It uses modified tabletop with autocannons dealing 3 times the damage and missiles doing twice the damage. PPCs do 50% more. Probably to bring them to a balance so it's worth bringing them at all. And you can see you have some other options there, a 50% or a twice or based off the tabletop. So you could do that. So you need to bring less ammo with you, which means, hey, I only found 1 ton of this, but we could still use it, or 2 tons or whatever. I don't need 5 tons in there. And I like that. I think that's a reasonable option if you're going to run the ammo management. I think that works, generally speaking. The other option is very similar, and that's ammo multiplier. It just gives you more ammo per ton. So if you don't really want to play with the weapon balance, maybe you're happy with the standard damage that the ACs use, or you want to use tabletop damage really closely, but you also want a way around this to get a little bit more ammo, so you have less to reload, you have less to find, then you could use this ammo multiplier, and you can see it'll go from 1 to 4 times as much within the deal. And so that's pretty cool too. I'm reasonably happy with all of these options here. I believe that's it for ammo. Let me go down and make sure I didn't miss something. I like ammo explosions. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good with that. I think that's the longer higher tier weapons will still have their heat. Okay. I like this, and this to some extent mitigates the problems you may have in the game like I'm playing, where even though we're not playing with ammo management, we do still have trouble finding the ammo we want. So giving you more ammo per ton, making that ammo do more damage per shot, those are all ways to mitigate that. So you have to find less of that ammo, but you have to find some of it, period. And the ammo that is listed as being for the weapon should work for the weapon. And you shouldn't get ammo at all that doesn't work at all in anything. So if it's impossible to make it work with, say, the rewards and stuff you get with the mission, then it probably shouldn't be in there. Or it should be an option. It shouldn't be required to run it. There should be a checkbox here that says, hey, I want all of that. So there's some really good within MercTech. There really is. But there are some crippling issues, primarily with ammo, based on the 8 billion different variations and the fact that you need to find it, the fact that they've made it rare within the marketplace. Making it just purchasable would fix this. But that defeats his entire point of putting it in the game. And so I think I don't think that's really probably a reasonable solution, because that invalidates everything else, right? There's no point in having a 150, a 151, a 155, a 157, a 160, right? There just isn't, if you're going to make them all purchasable relatively easily. Now, you could say that you could go with something a little bit more basic and say, okay, AC2s shoot 60 millimeter, AC5s shoot 150 millimeters, AC-20 shoot 250 or whatever, right? And then say, you know what? You can run less in an autocannon, right? So an autocannon could be sleeved, could be made to run with lower ammo. So I can put anything I want in an AC-20, but if I can only find AC-2 ammo, well, it's not going to do much. But an AC-2 can't handle the bigger ammo, right? And then you could go with the reloading. You could do rare ammo, I suppose, if you wanted. You could do something like that. But again, I don't really know why you would. I just don't see the point of it. It's an AC-5. AC-5s are AC-5s, right? They're a standard. They take a standard ammo. If you wanted to play with some funky stuff that maybe has hotter loads or something like that, and is super rare to find, or might cause damage if you do it, similar to, you know, a back feedback from a PPC or a jam on an autocannon, you know, go that route if you want. You know, or a hollow point versus an armor piercing. I think that would be fine. I think that would be fun to throw those things in there. And those would be meaningful gameplay ammo decisions that you could make. Not because they're hard to find, but because they change the way the weapon behaves, and as such allow you to do different things with that weapon. Maybe an armor piercing does less overall damage, but gets you a higher crit chance. And we have some of that in the game. We see some flak versus some armor piercing in there. So that's already something he's kind of played with. I would say lean towards that and less to the millimeter variations that you can't find. And also, it needs to dial way back the rarity of ammo. Everybody in this thing needs the ammo. You know, if it were this system and you could only find this type of ammo on one planet in the galaxy, then nobody would be using these weapons. That's just all there is to it. And the ammo dump system, frankly, doesn't work because I've never seen one. So it's not a reasonable thing. I know some people have said within comments that if you want to find like ammo for, what are the lasers you have to reload? You know what I'm talking about. Because they're not very common and they don't work very well, you've got to go out to the periphery. They're more of a pirate periphery weapon because they can't afford a medium laser. Sure. But medium lasers are dirt common and dirt cheap, and they're found everywhere. So, you know, within lore, I don't know that fits. The game has already limited you to where you can find stuff fairly heavily, with only being able to buy stuff either at the trade hubs, the industrial hubs, excuse me, or the black markets within the battle zones. I think that's fine. I would say, look, you can't buy anything anywhere else. There's just not a functioning economy, right? You need to hop over to another planet to pick that up. And you're paying more within the combat zones because everybody wants it. It's a combat zone. There's fighting. Everybody's buying it. Therefore, supply and demand, it becomes more expensive. And it's limited within there. If you want it, you got to run back over to the industrial hub where you should be able to buy anything. It's an industrial hub of anywhere from 3 to 15 systems, for God's sakes, with common trade back and forth. So I think I'm just at this point, partly maybe it's just because I'm having a bad week, but it really has killed the enjoyment and killed a lot of the good things that MercTech has done for me with this system, to not be able to use the things that when I do find those rare fun items, we can't use them. Even if you have the ammo that says it's for that weapon. So I think for the moment, I'm done with MercTech. We gave it a run, like I said, 16, 17 episodes. And I'm just not happy with the overall way everything works together, even though I really like individual pieces. And some of what's there, it's redeemable. Let's put it that way. It's definitely redeemable. And I don't want to talk smack too much about Magnum because I like Magnum. The interactions I've had with Magnum have been excellent. And I think what I'm pretty sure it's a he. If I'm wrong, I apologize. I guess we can go with a they just to cover all our bases. I forgot where I was going with that. Anyway, I like Magnum. I like most of what happened here. What I dislike, though, is the ammo system and the fact that means we can't use stuff. We can't build the builds we want to build at all. There's no way to play with those. So there are no meaningful decisions. You use lasers and you use SRMs or LRMs, and that's kind of it, because your other options are are what they are. Yeah, I think that's all I got to say. I think that's probably enough for this one. Hopefully all that did show up. Ammo management, hopefully you guys, it's hiding behind me a little bit. I think that's the only thing that was hiding behind me that was important. But we'll be back with some more MechWarrior. We'll come up with a different list of mods. We'll play with some other stuff. I kind of like to go with the completely unlocked system, which is more or less what basic BattleTech is. Tabletop. I was reading for some other game where the guy had made the comment. He was talking about mech quirk specifically. But he says there's no difference between a quick draw and a dragon, except for quirks, because there are no weapon. You don't have to put a weapon in a certain spot in tabletop BattleTech. If you have the slots for it, you can put it there. And I think the reason it's not that way in a lot of video games is because they want to draw the weapon on the mech, and that means they have to come up with the art. And if you can put anything anywhere, that means they have to figure out how to make the model support any weapon anywhere and as many as you can stuff in there. And that makes creating the assets much more difficult. But yeah, it was fun, right until it wasn't. I guess that's where I'm at with it. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for Magnum for making this. If the ammo system changes, or at least the market system changes maybe with that, then there's a good chance I'll be back. If it doesn't, then I probably won't be, because I said it cuts down on the decisions I want to make in the game. And that's ultimately my final review. There's a lot of good, but there's one thing that kills my freedom within the game to make meaningful decisions. And without meaningful decisions in building the mechs, there's not nearly as much fun to be had in MechWarrior and BattleTech in general. So that's it. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers.